Trump set an ultimatum, according to which a deal must be reached with Hamas by Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Washington time. Hamas is a brutal and violent menace in the Middle East, and in retribution for the October 7th attack on civilization, more than 25,000 of its soldiers have been killed. Most of the rest are surrounded and militarily trapped, just waiting for me to give the command, go, so that their lives will be ended. As for the rest, we know where you are and who you are, and you will be hunted down and eliminated. End quote. I ask all innocent Palestinians to leave immediately this area to safer parts of Gaza. Everyone will receive better care from those who are waiting to help. For the good fortune of Hamas, they will be given one last chance. Major, strong, and rich countries in the Middle East, together with the United States of America, have agreed with Israel's signature to peace in the Middle East. Before the IDF was ordered to stop offensive actions, an underground tunnel was exposed near a hospital in Gaza City. In a statement by the IDF spokesperson, it was reported that during operations in the southern part of Gaza City, forces of Division 36 and the Shin Bet, guided by military intelligence and in cooperation with the Yahalom unit, located a tunnel shaft near the hospital, which led to an underground machine shop. The route that was identified is part of a military post of the Hamas terror organization, where, according to the intelligence indications, company and platoon commanders of the organization were present at the time. The reported length is about 1.5 kilometers, and inside were found production rooms, meeting rooms, and senior officer rooms. In addition to the route identified near the Jordanian hospital, the forces located another shaft under the Hamad hospital in Gaza City. The IDF statement added that for years the organization established an underground system beneath hospitals throughout the Strip, used for producing weapons and managing the fighting. At the same time, Hamas tried to launch an attack against the Al-Mujahida clan living in Khan Yunis. A Palestinian source from the Strip said that the IDF assisted the clan in the attack, which was broken up with 22 Hamas terrorists eliminated. According to sources in the Gaza Strip, Hamas is motivated to launch this attack on the Al-Mujahida clan by desire for revenge, after several of its members beat up a Hamas operative who was active in the Saham unit, which is responsible for catching collaborators who work with Israel. Now, Hamas has 22 more reasons to try and take revenge against this family, so we'll keep an eye out to see if they try again. Meantime, a senior security source reported on Saturday evening that after the intensified activity of the IDF across all its branches in the last month, the IDF controls this evening 50% of the area of Gaza City. Additionally, nearly 900,000 Gazan residents have already evacuated south, while at present the IDF is holding its fire. It should also be mentioned that the IDF was surprised by President Trump's announcement that it needed to cease offensive operations immediately, as Hamas is only ready to accept some of the terms of his 21-point plan, even as they continue to play games with the other terms. However, after earlier consultations that stretch into the night, IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir convened the military brass, and they decided on guidelines for the fighting echelon, including reinforcing forces for the benefit of Southern Command, central attention to protecting the security of our forces due to the great concern about an attack or harm to soldiers, such as fire into protected areas, and worst of all, a kidnapping event, scenarios which are always a concern. Just miles from the Gaza border, Zion Maman has there are still substantial gaps, and Hamas is playing the usual game, refusing to commit to releasing all the remaining hostages in the first 72 hours or to disarm, which are Israel's key demands. Senior Hamas official Musa Abba Marzouk even claimed that the organization would need months to locate all hostages, including the living, but also the remains of those who have died in captivity. Israel's rejected these remarks, and a senior source said that Hamas will not be able to claim it does not know where each of the living hostages is. We know that it knows, and we know it can reach them. There are 20 living hostages. Meanwhile, Palestinian sources said that the mediators made it clear to Hamas that this time it's forbidden to drag out time, but that the terror organization wishes to hold the hostages throughout the entire negotiation period. At this time, an Israeli delegation led by Minister Ron Dermer is expected to depart for Cairo for discussions, and the source said that the ball is in Hamas's court. If it releases the hostages as required, the agreement will go forward. However, Hamas has apparently said that most of its military capability has already been destroyed during the fighting, and there is no longer any point to talking about demilitarization. They further add that if the occupation ends and an independent Palestinian state is established, Hamas will no longer have justification to hold weapons, and all capabilities will be transferred to the Palestinian Authority. In addition, there's a deep dispute over the proposal to establish an international peace council that would govern Gaza on the day after. Hamas emphasizes that it will not agree to foreign rule over the Palestinian people and calls to leave the determination of the Strip's future in the hands of all the Palestinian factions. It added in a statement that they will not accept an external governor like Tony Blair to determine Gaza's fate. That is all the information we have right now on this subject. Here at TBN Israel, we'll continue to bring you every development on the matter. Widely reported that massive amounts of humanitarian aid have been sent into the Strip from several countries all over the world, including Israel, by the way. Most of the aid has been sent in by trucks, but there have also been airdrops, and there was even an effort to deliver aid from the sea.
The first question is, can we
However,
remove a
these
threat
activists were not interested in the truth. They just wanted to make a point. As we later found out, the boats weren't even carrying any food or medicine to bring to the Gaza Strip. All the activists had lots of camera equipment, so they could film themselves sailing to Gaza and post the videos on social media. But there was no humanitarian aid in the cargo holds of these small boats. It's also notable that many of them threw their cameras and their phones into the sea as the Israeli Navy was approaching. One can only wonder what they were trying to hide. And also, since many of them claim to be environmentalists, it's also notable that they littered and polluted the sea by casting their stuff into it. Furthermore, last Tuesday, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs published a document that proves Hamas's involvement in financing and carrying out the Samud flotilla to Gaza, as some of the ships participating in the flotilla belong to a Spanish company named Cyber Neptune, which is owned by Saif Abu Kashk, an activist in the PCPA organization, which is closely connected to the Hamas terrorists. Sadly, no one seemed to take any notice of these facts, and on the early morning hours of Thursday, which was Yom Kippur in Israel, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, the ships were approaching the coast of Gaza in an attempt to run the blockade when they were somewhat anticlimactically intercepted by the commandos from the Israeli Navy Shayetet 13 unit with the assistance of the Israel Prison Services Metzada unit.